Okay, let's go ahead and get started on Access 3. This time you can see all your tables have been created. We're going to create some queries this time and again do some other areas that you may have not been able to visit with before. The called calculated fields. And calculated fields are not tough. It's a way to introduce Excel and Access together and to make some of the queries make sense and be able to calculate using queries to do that. So let's go ahead and jump right into this. Create a query named using query design. Okay, and I think what this really means is if we use query design, then it's going to end up like this right here. From the customer table, include the fields company name, and so you can do customer table and include the fields company name, contact title. Let's see, let's see, from the orders table, and then run the query. So I'll get these two done and then close this down, and we can do company name. You can double click on this, and I've got this backwards right here, so move this over here. Let's see, company name, contact title. You can enter that from there, and phone, or you can come over here and do, and then customers, and do the phone like this. You can do either way using you can see the field name, and you can see the table name right here. And then from the orders table, include the fields order ID, order date, and ship date. Author says run this, and so you end up getting this right here. So that's the easy part. Then he says add a calculated field, so we need to go back to design in our query, and he says add a area called calculated, or add a calculated field called days to ship, and then it would be the shipped date minus the order date. So calculated field, begin down here, just click on this and then type days to ship and then colon, and then you're going to use your little block right here, and then it would be shipped date minus, and I believe we have to put another block right here. I probably should have put a block right here. You have to close these fields in a block, minus the order date, and then we will close that back again. So author says do that, run the query, note, and then examine the results, save the query. So we've done this, we run the query, and I've got invalid bracketing. Probably ship date minus the order date, days to ship, and I believe my stuff is correct here. Let me look at this again to make sure. Days to ship, ship date minus the order date. So we've taken the days to ship ship date minus the order date, and we run the query, and we get our query right here. Now the next thing we do is we add criteria to limit the results to include any order that took more than 25 days to ship. So you can go back to this and go days to ship, and you can go to the criteria and put greater than 25. And that didn't ask us to do anything else to run it or anything, so please don't run it. Next, we add the quality field from the order details table, and we can go back to this and add the orders detail table, and you can get there by right clicking, doing show table, and do the orders detail table, and then you can close this down, add the quantity field, and again I'm just double clicking, and the product name field from the products table, to the query in that order, and then you can sort the table by the ascending, by the name right here, and then that's all we do. And then we switch to the data sheet view to view the final results, and this is what we end up with right here. In design view, add the caption days to ship to the days to ship field, close, and close the query. So go back in. Okay, so next we create a query using query design and add the customers, orders details, and products table. Add the fields order ID and order date, so we don't need to do that again. And you're going to add a calculated field in the third column. I'm not going to go through and do this again. Just, you know how to do a calculated field now, and do this. And let's see anything else on there. Add criteria to the order date so that the orders are made between 1/1/2016 and 12/31/2016 are displayed. So you want to, down in the criteria, you want to do a criteria of less than and then greater than. So what you will do is, down the criteria for the order date, there's another command that you probably have never seen, and it's called the between command. So the order date, and you'll be able to do another query now. We haven't even saved this query, and it'll be your next query that you enter everything. But you'll use the command B between, and then put your number sign out here, that's shift 3, and then you'll type the date in here, and you'll put the actual date, and then do the word and capital A, so you'll put the date and then put the last date, and then that will force that order date to only show the orders, that query to only show the orders that you have right here. So not very hard that you have to do. So now what I want to do is, instead of doing another query, you're going to have to create and make a copy of a query. Copying query is real easy. Just copy the query. You'll see how to copy and paste the query, and you'll have a copy of a query. And you can look in your book. I want you all to look at that to see what it is. But now what I want to do is an expression for you. You're going to be doing some different stuff up here. When you get into that query and get into this field right here, you're going to be entering stuff. So let me just do the expression for you. Okay, yeah. What it's trying to get us to do is finish what we were doing right here. trying to delete this. Okay, so your expression though over, and it won't be on this one, it'll be on the new query. Your expression you're going to do is, the author says add a new field, let's see, add a new field using the expression builder named sample payment. And so you're going to put a sample payment in a payment function out here. And so what you will do is give this field a name of sample payment. There, that's the field name. And then you're doing this, and then the author says use 0.05 out of divided by 12 for the rate, and then he said use the number 12 for the number of periods, and then use the calculated field extended amount for the present value. So what your syntax is going to be is your payment. Oops. You don't need this. It's going to be your payment, and then it'll be 0.05, and then from there you will divide by 12, and then you'll use your extended amount. And then you will do that. And the author says for 12, and then do this, and then put a bracket over here. And then he said to extend that amount. I know this is a lot of work, but there's a lot of stuff, a lot of examples to help you in your book and everything, and then I'm of course available. Extend an amount, and you will close the bracket, and then you will right click and do that, and then that will put the correct in there. It should have been this, like this, and bring that in there. So you'll see how that works out when you get to that point. A lot of stuff in here, and then you change the total row up here. As you see this total row that we don't have, you need to go up and click totals, and now you have a total row, and you're going to see the group bys. This is going to be, when you do something like that, this is going to be an expression. And then when you do the next one, you've got a order summary query named order date by country. And then you're going to make some changes there too, follow the same analogy that you did. When you get through, this will work. And I've shown you enough really for you to make this work, but if you have to, again, look in your book, and if you have to, contact me. I'd rather you struggle through this on your own if you can, and then when you get to a certain point, you're more than happy to contact me, and I will get you to the next level. But just follow this, and again, follow your book, and it'll give you an idea of what you're supposed to do. So, quite detailed. This will be much harder than what your actual case will be, but I'd rather you stress through it right now and get this done than